Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 5 of Grim Squadron Radio,
Woo!
coming at you live from the Outer Rim territories. My name is Zeph. Joining me as always is my co-host Ouija. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Zeph, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. So what do we got on the docket today?
On the docket today, well, there's a bunch of news. First up is Wave 9.
Wave 9. Wave
Oh
9
man.
hype.
Wave 9. Oh man, they
All right,
introduced.
let's start with
Ooh.
as always with the fantasy flight news because that's the good stuff, the juicy stuff.
Yeah.
We want to bite into that good meat right away. So what do we got?
All right. So, Wave 9, stay in attack formation is the name of the article, and
Yes,
it
sir.
introduces 4 new ships. The Arc 170
Mm,
Starfighter. Ooh. For Rebels,
okay.
Special Forces tie that we
Yep.
all knew was coming for First Order.
Yes, sir.
Then we get the Protectorate Starfighter, the Fang Fighter from
Also
Star Wars
known as the Fang
Rebels.
Fighter from Rebels. Yep. And another Rebels favorite is the Shadowcaster.
Oh yeah, and they
So,
each introduce a new fun way to play.
yes, sir. We definitely knew that the TIE SF was coming for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like, all right, well, it was in a movie. It's gonna come out eventually. I actually thought it was gonna come out with the Falcon revamp as a sort of like Escape from Jakku box, but apparently they decided to go with the alt art Poe Dameron and with the Falcon, and they put a separate TIE SF in.
Yep.
Um, I mean
Oh
the
man.
Shadowcaster, we figured it was going to be coming. It was a big part of Rebels. It was that whole Sabine story arc. Um, I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually there is a couple surprises with that though.
Oh yeah.
The Protectorate Starfighter we could have seen coming.
Yeah. That was
I'm
pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, like we're gonna see pretty much everything from that show. It's part of the new canon. It's a great place to pull from ships. But the biggest surprise that we weren't really expecting to see was the Ark.
Yeah, that was just out of left field.
Ark was completely out of left field. Primarily because I think we heard a lot about how Fantasy Flight didn't really want to pull from the Clone Wars for some strange reason. Some strange
They
reason, I
yeah,
don't know.
they just didn't want to. But you know what? Here we are.
Here,
We got the art.
backsies.
Yep. It makes sense from a certain point of view.
Oh,
Hey,
definitely.
because the TIE SF has a rear firing arc. It's a small base ship with a rear firing arc, and so they decided to give Rebels one too.
I mean, it makes sense. It kind of fits with the theme of the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And considering that the Z95, which is already in the game, and the Y-wing, which is already in the game, are already
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars holdovers, although they came in, well, at least the Y-wing came in the original trilogy.
Yep.
The Z95 was kind of that.
It was extended
It
universe.
was extended universe that went into the
The clone.
canon with the
Yeah.
Clone Wars. But everyone was like, all right, it's coming. I mean, they have the E-wing, they have Z95, okay, and they pull from Galaxies, and that was in Galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the Arc 170, it came from the new. I can't really say the new trilogy anymore. The Clone Wars trilogy, I guess we're gonna call episodes 1 through 3.
The prequel
The
trilogy.
prequels, yes. Um, so it's very interesting to see this pop out, and it's the first standalone expansion that does not have generic pilots.
Yep. And I can understand the reasoning for that. I mean, by this time they were so few and far between and required such maintenance. Only the really named pilots who preferred the craft would fly them.
Yeah, and there's
As
only one other ship in this game that does not have generic pilots, and that is the attack shuttle that's bundled with the Ghost.
hmm Which makes sense because the attack shuttle was a unique feature of the Ghost
Yeah.
itself.
I
So all
wonder
in
how
all,
the VCX 100 looks without it. Just like, is it just a blocky end?
they probably cut out part of the hull.
Yeah, and then retrofitted it.
Yeah,
That's
just
pretty
slapped
cool.
it in.
Or maybe it was like an option that Hera picked at the dealership. I don't
Probably stole.
know. uh,
All right, let's take a look at it. So 2-1 6 3 art stats, 2 attack dice, 1 agility, 6 hull, 3 shields. Pretty good.
Very formidable.
Yeah, it's a K-wing effectively in stats, but it's a rear firing arc instead of a turret.
Yeah. But you also have and here's another feature of this entire expansion,
Hmm.
that these all these ships come with non-unique but ship-only titles.
Yep.
So, for instance, and this is, I guess, Fantasy Flight's way of adding in rules without like modifying like the core rule book. It's part of the expansion. It makes sense. But
Hmm.
instead of like listing it on every card or like on like a rule card on what you had to do with this particular ship, they just added this title, which you can. It's 0 points, and you can choose to add it or not. But the title here, we got a glimpse of it. When attacking with your primary weapon from your primary arc, you can roll an additional attack die. So shooting out your front, you're actually shooting 3 instead of 2.
Hmm.
But if you decide to shoot out your rear, you may change one of your eyeballs to a crit,
Yep.
which is also good.
So I can understand why they did that with the title and also with the SF.
Hmm.
They wanted to make the ship 3 attack dice, but they didn't want to have 3 attack in the front and the rear.
Makes sense.
So with the title, you have that 3 primary and a 2 rear, which they implemented it really well, and I'm excited to see this ship come out on the table.
Hmm.
Also, in the modifications, we have a tail gunner, which does things for your auxiliary arc.
It's a crew.
Uh, yeah, it's a crew. Vectored thrusters, which gives you barrel roll as a mod,
Oh
finally.
man,
And it looks like some kind of action torpedo that may destroy debris or target ships in the activation phase.
that's very interesting.
Hmm.
The vector thrusters, I think, will be the most interesting thing, and if they price this modification aggressively, because from we don't see the whole of it. It says small ship only, and we believe it says your action bar gains the barrel roll action.
Yeah, that's what it does.
That's more or less. There's no real other text. It
Now.
looks very similar to engine upgrade. It's small ship only, but I think if they price this aggressively, like
Hmm.
maybe if it was 2 points, a 2 point
It's
mod.
too low.
I don't think so because it's small ship only. 2 points would put this in strong competition for ships like the X-wing or the Kirax. It would be great on the Kirax. It gives you that barrel
The
roll.
Kirax I can see it on. I can't
Um,
see it on.
and if it was 2 points, you could pop it on, let's say, an A-wing instead of auto thrusters. You're robbing it of the auto thrusters, but you're adding that extra action. And now this A-wing can fly like a TIE interceptor for
Hmm.
the same amount of points.
I don't know about that. I think
You think it's going
it
to be
won't
3 points?
not on 3 points I see, but I also don't really see it on low X-wings because like low pilot skills because they want integrated.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but like it would be nice for the Kirax. It would be nice for other ships that you don't really give a mod,
Hmm.
but could benefit from the barrel roll.
Definitely. Another thing we see is an R3 astromech. It comes with 2,
Hmm.
so it has to do something cool, and it also comes with an evade token. So I
That's
think the
very
R3
interesting.
astromech will give you an evade token once
3
per
out of
round if
8.
you do a focus or something.
It's either that or maybe one of the name pilots gives you an evade.
That's true. One of the two.
That could be it.
Pretty exciting overall.
So the arc's really cool. I look
Yeah.
forward to it. The model looks beautiful, and I like how when they did the art, they threw in that little black rebel symbol on one of the S foils.
Yeah, they just slapped it on like, here it is. This is ours now.
And up until this came out, I actually never knew that the arc had a tail gun.
It does. Yeah. You
Did
didn't know
not
that?
know that. No,
Yeah.
you never really get a good look at it. And I actually didn't even know it had an astromech.
Oh yeah, it has astromech 3 crew. It's a big ship.
Yeah, very tanky. Very surprising that it's considered like a recon vessel, but then again, I guess recon in the language of the Republic means more of special forces than actual recon.
Hmm.
So these are like your F-14s of the day.
Yeah.
High speed, high guns, get
Well, it's
in
got
there,
hyperdrive.
own
Fucking
them up.
jumps in,
Hmm.
can fight off defensively. It's a big ship.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on to the Special Forces tie.
Ooh, man.
All right, with a stat line that would make a defender blush.
I don't
Two,
know about that.
three. Well, with the title and the rear firing arc.
Well, yes, but I mean, it's 2 agility.
It
That
is.
that's kind of that taken away from normal ties, which are 3, with the exception of I think the bomber. But this thing doesn't look as cumbersome as a bomber.
Well, when you look at the model, it does look a little more bulky, and look, it has a rear firing arc, and it has 2 people in it. That's a lot of equipment to put in that kind of tie.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the inside of the wing,
hmm
you can see like these coils.
The coggy looking things that right
Yeah,
up against the solar panel.
that probably
Yeah.
boosts its agility a lot.
I mean, maybe the actual like model is physically larger than a standard Tie Fighter. I don't think so, but it might be.
No, I think it's just bulky.
Mm.
Uh,
So this thing, like you said, 2233, very tanky, and its special title: when attacking with your primary weapon from your primary firing arc, you can roll an additional attack die, or you can choose not to, and then shoot out your front and your rear. So if you
yep.
got a target in front and a target behind, you could just choose to roll 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 0,
Yeah,
which is really kind of cool. So
it's pretty good.
you got to focus all your firepower forward, or the gunners on the rear, the pilots up front. They're shooting both.
Hmm. And it comes
Um,
with a PS9 Ace.
yes, sir. Quick draw.
Yep.
He's
Once
going
per,
to be very interesting. Tell
oh
us what
yeah.
he does.
Once per round, when you lose a shield token, you may perform a primary weapon attack.
Just whenever you want. Whenever you just lose a shield. Hit a rock, boom. Here's your free attack.
No mods though.
But what I saw somewhere, I was reading through like the various Facebook groups.
Yep.
Someone came up with a bright idea. So you give Quick Draw the title.
Yeah.
You give him Rage, and then you give him, because it has the sensor slot, you give him Electronic Baffle.
Uh,
So
uh,
you roll up on somebody. So like let's say you have initiative.
yep.
Their sooner fell. You roll up on them. You hit the rage, you baffle off the stress, you drop the shield from using the baffle, and then
Mm.
you hit them with your primary weapon where you got rerolls and the focus.
There's one thing I don't like about that combo.
Mm?
You're killing yourself to get that shot.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's if you want to play it like that, that's something you could do.
Definitely. I think it's gonna fall out of favor because you're just gonna kill yourself like a lot. Like you're gonna strip your own shields, and then the enemy is just gonna go, "Oh, hey, you're a Tie Fighter now with less agility," and blast you off the board.
It's neither here nor there, but I think it could be a great way to like open up somebody for if you run like a quick draw and like Vader crew combo on another ship. So like quick draw hits them from with the baffle combo, and then you use your regular attack, and then you go in and you Vader them.
Hmm.
Could be an interesting kind of like a life tap kind of build, which could be very interesting.
Maybe. I just don't personally see it. I think you use that to punish people for shooting at you.
Maybe
Yeah.
kind of like a Dengar ability, or and if you hit a rock, you get to pop it for free.
Yeah.
So why not?
One of those two. Yeah. I think it's you don't rely on it constantly going off because you only have it at most 3 times.
At most 3 times, right? Yes.
Mhm. And then you have collision detector,
Yes.
which is a system slot that lets you barrel roll onto rocks
Onto
or
rocks?
onto obstacles. Yeah.
Is that exactly what it is? I don't know about that. I think
When
maybe
you
like
perform
if
a
you
barrel
land on
roll,
it.
yeah, like it lets you either avoid damage or something. But
From what I've seen in places,
mm,
the collision detector, like so if you were going to hit a rock, you can barrel off it for free and not suffer the damage of the rock or something like that.
well, no, it looks like it says when you
Because
perform a barrel roll.
because why would you want to go onto a rock with a that
Well, if
and
you
it's
don't take damage from barrel rolling onto it, because there's more to that text.
I'm not
It,
entirely sure. We'll see what happens, and it comes
yeah,
with wired, of course.
yep. Which means it might have reds on the dial.
And 2 new tech upgrades,
Yep.
which we can't really see. What does the wiki said?
It
Wiki
looks
doesn't
like
say
they let
anything.
you spend a focus token to turn a blank to an evade. That's my best guess.
Yeah, but we can't really see what the name of it is, or
Secure like secure something.
something like that.
Secure cluster.
We'll see what happens. It
Mm,
looks promising.
yeah.
And another rear firing arc.
All right. Next up,
So we got
the
the Protectorate.
protectorate. Yep, protectorate starfighter. Uh, 3 attack, 3 agility, 4 hull, 0 shields. It's a tie interceptor.
It's a scum tie interceptor. And for the longest time, we were kind of having a hard place to put the sick because it's not really a tie interceptor, but it's not really a tie fighter. So this kind of cements the role of the sick being the scum tie fighter, and right now it's kind of trash because we don't have any pilots for it, and it's a little bit more expensive for. Okay, so I'm swapping a hull for a shield, and it's 2 more points, and it doesn't really do me any good.
hmm Well, now you can just throw out all your six and just take
Yeah, just
a billion. Yeah, the
take a
Fang
Fang
fighter.
fighter.
I mean, hey, it comes with a snazzy new title.
Comes with a title as well.
Yeah, and a new EPT. All right, so let me look at this stuff. The
Hmm.
title is when you're defending, if you are inside the attacker's firing arc and at range 1, and the attacker is inside your firing arc, you add an evade result to your defense roll.
And if you combine that with your other PS9 over here, because
Yep.
this is the PS9 wave, we got two of them here. When attacking or defending, if the enemy ship is at range 1, you roll an additional die. So Fen Rao can, with this title, reward you for running at your opponent. Just run at
Yep.
them.
Getting into range 1.
You just want to get in range 1 in their face, in their arc, and you just want to like unload on them.
Because he's gonna have 5 dice when attacking at range 1 and 4 dice when defending, plus an evade result.
Plus a free evade. Absolutely free. It's only 1 point to
hmm
just auto evade one.
So with the title Push the Limit and Auto Thrusters, because he
Hmm.
does have boost, he is 34 points.
Very competitive. He's right up there with Soonerfell. And I actually built a list with this guy, Zuckus with Forlom and a title, and I don't know if he
hmm
gave him something else, and a Bump Master. And it
I can
comes
see
out
that
to
working.
100 points. The Bump Master sets up for Fenrau to just run at you. Zuckus just runs at you. They're throwing 4 dice, 5 dice. It's
hmm
ridiculous.
I want to try a Talonbane Cobra Zuckus and Fenrau build personally.
See, and this is why I really hope that the
The
barrel roll title is competitively priced at
yeah.
2 points because that would make fielding Talonbane more. It would
Oh
make
yeah.
it more palatable.
Absolutely. You give him the barrel roll mod, boom.
And
You
it's
can
for
do
two
a hard
points.
one.
It's like why not?
I was expecting 3. I can still make it work with 3, but if it's 2, that'd be
It was better.
crazy. 2 is I don't know. I don't know about that. Also, there's an EPT, Fearlessness, Scum
Mm-hmm.
only. When you're attacking inside the defender's firing arc, and you're inside the defender's firing arc, you add a hit result.
So maybe they want you to just completely run at your opponent, no push limit, but I think you definitely need push to make Fenrau work.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe make him work with Fearless, because that's potentially 6 hits
Yeah,
at range 1, but you probably won't push the limit to guarantee 5.
definitely.
Yep. All right.
So I definitely think if you take fearlessness, so I want to look back at like this is scum only. Dang.
Yeah, it's Scum
I
only.
was gonna say if this wasn't scum only, you just give that thing the Y wings with push and the barrel roll
Oh
mod,
yeah,
and you
no,
just
get
run
out
at
of here.
people. You just run at people. It'd be great. It'd be the
Wait,
age of Y
it's an
wings or
EPT.
wait age of A wings. Yeah,
Yeah. What Y-wing has an EPT?
not Y wings. I mean A wings. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's been a
oh,
long day for me
yeah.
over here. I'm confusing my alphabet Y A B Z.
Mhm.
It's I do this all the time too. So like for no reason, I'll be like, oh man, look at those B wings, and a guy's fielding like two TLT Y wings, and I'm like, oh, I'm just absolutely out of my
Uh,
mind at this point.
oh, there's also another pilot skill 6, Cad Solus.
Hmm.
When he executes a red maneuver, he gets 2 focus tokens.
Very cool.
Yeah. Also, they have a 2 talon roll.
Two Talon Roll. That's going to be huge. They have the preview of the Talon Roll card.
Hmm.
and it's previewed on the dial.
So pretty exciting, definitely.
Very, this thing just wants to just stay on people,
Oh yeah,
and I
definitely.
think they wanted to accomplish this as well with the Kirax,
Hmm.
but because they kind of made it an X-wing analog, even with a hard one, it couldn't necessarily stay on people.
Now it can't because it doesn't have the repositioning.
Nope. But now, if you give it that barrel roll, if it's 2 points, hard one barrel roll. Oh, look at me! I'm just dancing like I'm the Inquisitor.
Hmm. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And finally,
Last
the
but not
big ship,
least,
the Shadowcaster, joins us as a large base ship with 3 attack,
because
two.
Scum definitely needed more big ships, right?
Right? Yeah, clearly. 3 attack, 2 agility, 7 hull, and 3 shields. It's an Outrider almost
More or
without a barrel
less.
roll. Uh, Especially considering it introduces a new mechanic called mobile firing arcs.
Well, it has more primary damage than the Outrider, but it doesn't have the ability to equip cannons.
Yeah. Well, the you're paying for the mobile firing arc.
Yes, which is it's a new and interesting mechanic. More or less, you just spend your action
Hmm.
to rotate. Um,
You're printed a firing arc
yeah, well, it's you still have your primary, but you
hmm
you rotate, I guess, another one. So you have your primary
and an
and
auxiliary.
an auxiliary in any of the quadrants.
It's pretty interesting, and I'm want to look at how more it works later.
Hmm.
But right now, it looks pretty good as is. The action is going to hinder it a bit, but the gyro targeting thing that comes with it does something with your mobile firing arc when you do a 3, 4, or 5 speed.
Okay.
So it'll probably give you that action economy when you go fast.
Then you can always give the pilots with EPTs just push.
Yep.
And I think Sabine has an EPT as
No, she
well, right?
doesn't.
Oh, she does not?
Does not.
Hmm. That's a very interesting thing too. Sabine, who is for all intents and purposes a rebel goody two shoe. I mean, that's how she's kind of portrayed. Besides being a terrorist, she just throws bombs everywhere and blows everyone
Hmm.
up, and she's oh my lord, Queen Thermal Detonators, scum
Yeah.
scum pilot, which is very interesting.
Yeah, she's pretty neat. This is before she joined the rebels, so she had a bad streak,
I guess
and it
she's a
represents
bad
that
girl.
when defending against an enemy ship inside your mobile firing arc at range 1-2, you may add an eyeball to your roll.
Yeah,
So she turns into a TIE interceptor.
that thing flying like a TIE interceptor will be
It does have a
pretty
3 green bank,
ridiculous. Yeah,
so look out for that, folks.
and I mean, you would think that maybe this sets up the precedent for maybe I don't know a scum falcon.
No,
You are such a party pooper.
I'm just saying no.
Yo,
Like,
because like if we go back to A New Hope,
I understand that
episode 4, Han was scum the entire movie.
up until the end.
Like right up until he saved Luke, he was scum on scum on scum.
All right,
He
but do
was
you?
always about I'm in it for the money, princess.
Okay, but
Don't get your hopes and dreams up. Even when he gets to the rebel base, he's like, "Yo, just give me my loot and I'm out of here."
yep. But like,
And then
look
I
how
mean,
many big ships there are for Scum now. They're
I
not gonna
know,
add it. If they were gonna add it, they would have done it by now.
eh, maybe down the line,
Maybe down the
maybe in
line,
like
3 years.
a most wanted too. Speaking of, there are rumors. We did see a leaked footage, not footage, but leaked pictures
Dubious
from
quality, by the way. Dubious.
well, dubious, yes, but the source so far is good because they leaked the Wave 9 stuff beforehand. There was that Portuguese distributor. I think they were Portuguese, right?
Italian.
Italian distributor. So we saw the Wave 9 ships, the exact same Wave 9 ships. A couple weeks ago, people were like, "Oh, it's not real. Why are they ever going to add the Arc?" And then a couple weeks later, oh, look, Wave 9 with the Arc 170. So that's very interesting. And thanks to this distributor, we got a little peek of the Superstar Viper,
Mm,
what many people are believing to be Scum Aces.
Again, dubious quality.
You
It
could
could have
say
been.
so.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, very dubious on account that part may have been doctored because it also showed the gunboat
Yeah, I don't know
and
about the gunboat, but
yeah,
people were saying I don't know about the arc, and here's the arc. So I personally want to trust this source since it has a proven track record. It has a
mhm,
100% correct rate right now.
100% win rate.
100% win rate. So I'm gonna throw my towel in that corner. I'm gonna say Superstar Viper. I'm hyped. I'm hoping that it's Scum Aces. I'm hoping that it comes for, or maybe another like Most Wanted box with like an updated Viper, an updated Sick, an updated Kirax,
hmm
because the Scum small base ships are in dire straits. Fantasy Flight, if you're hearing me, please fix the Scum small base ships. You keep giving us the big ships. I like the big ships. I like running them. But let me run my sick and be able to win. Can I win, please? Or maybe like run a Kirax and just not instantly lose? I mean, you, my friend, bought 3 Star Vipers because you're a not edgy Empire,
Forces of
Empire,
Corruption fan.
Force of Corruption, Empire War, Force of Corruption fan with Tiber Zan rolling out with the Star Vipers, and you played me with them a million times. Like, man, I really want to make the 3 Star Vipers work, and we got to the point where wow, we can't even make one work. You can maybe make one work if the stars are right.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen you
takes a
get
lot of work.
fourth with the stars are right with a Star Viper.
hmm it's a rough matchup.
It's an E-wing.
It's not even an E-wing, dude.
For all
An
intents and
E-wing has an
purposes.
evade.
Oh man, yeah, you're right. For all intents, well, I mean, this thing has a boost.
Oh,
It
yeah,
has a
but
boost. The E-wing does not have a boost.
it also has Corn Horn.
That's the only reason people take the E-wing is Corn Horn. No
hmm
one takes it for any other reason. So if like Prince Zeiser wasn't complete garbage, I'm pretty sure people would take the I was gonna say take the E-wing. They're gonna take the Star Viper for this guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm
them's the
kind of hyped
greats.
for Scum fix to small ships. We kind of need it since right now I believe every single Scum list is either uh, multiple big ships, or if you're fueling small ships, guess what you're fueling? Y wings.
hmm
They fixed the Y wings with the twin laser turrets and with the
And
titles and
dorsal.
whatnot, and dorsal and Z95s because they have a cheap price point. You could spam them. If Scum never got Z95s, you'd be spamming 6 because
I
they
mean,
would be
I wouldn't.
they're the cheapest ship you could field though.
Yeah, no, I would just stick to two ship builds then,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fun
But one thing.
fact,
hmm?
fun fact, all the Mandel motor ships, for those who like the fluff, don't have an illicit slot native, and the only one that can get it is the Star Viper if you take the Virago title. And I think I just lost my co-host.
Nope, sorry,
Oh,
I
he's
had to
still
talk to
there.
somebody.
All
Yep.
right. So that's a very interesting fact, and that kind of hinders all those ships as well. But then again, Fenner out with Glitterstim would be pretty good.
That would be no thank you.
I would be very thank you because Sooner Fell is like always glitter stimmed all the time forever
hmm
with the way his action economy works. So
Yeah,
I don't
we'll
know.
we'll see.
Back to the Shadowcaster though, it
hmm
seems to have the ability to drop debris clouds wherever it wants,
It's an illicit upgrade. Yeah, it lets you poop out a debris cloud.
and it comes with 2 illicit slots.
hmm So
Tactical jammers,
yeah.
Shadowcaster title, which lets you, well, I think it lets you poop out a tractor beam token for ships at range 1, right?
No. Here's how it works.
All
So the
right.
Shadowcaster title.
Mm-hmm.
After perform an attack that hits, if the defender is inside your mobile firing arc and at range 1 to 2, you may assign the defender 1 tractor beam token. So if you hit them, here's a tractor beam.
Just for fun.
just for fun. And then you have Ketsu
Onyo. Ketsu
Anyo, whatever.
Onyo.
At the start of the combat phase, you may choose a ship at range 1 if it is in your primary and mobile firing arc. Assign 1 tractor beam token to it. So even before you shoot, if they're in both your arcs, you give them a tractor beam token. So then you hit them with their primary, and then if that hits because you reduce their agility, they get another tractor beam token.
So this is kind of interesting way to play this ship because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have your mobile prime firing arc locked forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you lock it to one of the sides and then have it so both the arcs are interlocking the same ship, so like you come in on an angle and like the corner is facing the ship and it's in both arcs, it'll
Yep.
proc there as well.
Oh yeah, dude. No, it's you will wreck somebody.
And then there's some interesting crew here.
Uh-huh. Uh,
Latrazi as crew.
who lets you spend a stress token when defending
Yep,
to
she's
do
pink.
something. Ketsu probably does something terrible with tractor beams.
Mm-hmm. And IG88. There is some big speculation, and it would make sense given.
It's not speculation, it's confirmed.
Oh, is it confirmed? Oh no,
It's
yes, it was written in the article. That we didn't get a picture of the card,
yep.
but it was in the article that the IG88 crew will allow you to sync up in some way, shape, or form. They didn't specify how. Some way, shape, or form, sync up with a aggressor with the IG 2000 title.
Mm-hmm.
Which
You base
this opens up, even if it syncs one way, so that all right. So if I have him on, what's her name? Cat Scarlet. If I have
mm-hmm.
IG88 on the crew there, and it only goes one way, so that Kath gets a reroll from the secondary weapon.
That's
That's
pretty
still
good.
huge. It opens up the aggressor to be brought in other bills other than Brobots because that's the only place we really see him, and that's the only place he does well is Brobots. If you're
Yeah.
gonna bring a aggressor,
Mm-hmm. So
so
now there'll be robots alongside other big ships that have crew, like
mm-hmm.
the YV. You can give the engine upgrade, and bam, your YV now has an evade token.
Oh man, or you could be that guy
Yeah.
and just give it to a Hawk with twin laser turrets. Oh wait, no, it
Uh,
said cannon upgrade, I think, right?
yeah, cannon.
Oh, that would be cool. Cause you could just IG88B off your twin laser turrets. Oh,
I don't think that's
that
how
would
that
be it.
works.
That's not how that works, but that would be funny. Now the big question mark, the big mystery is, does this crew go both ways?
I don't think so.
I
Uh,
mean, it makes sense not to,
yep.
but I
It,
wouldn't be surprised if that thing was 5 points and lets you link up both pilot abilities.
that would be insane.
That would be very insane, and I would think it would open up a lot of
All
very
right.
cool scum builds that
Okay.
you couldn't normally do otherwise.
Do you know what happens with that? You take Boba Fett alongside IG and any IG at that point.
Hmm.
I'm an IG at range 1. I reroll everything forever.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Dengar. You shoot at
Uh,
me, I double
oh
tap
my
you.
god.
I just double tap you, and you take Dengar with you get to give him the hard signers. So you have
Mm,
a white hard two signer. No, it's a white hard three. It specifies, right?
yeah.
So you give him a free white hard three signers on one side and red on the other. It opens up his dial to be even more ridiculous.
Wait, no, they wouldn't share the dial.
No, but I'm saying IGD.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
IGD's ability.
Oh, that'd be ridiculous.
Or tell
Or,
Trevera, necromancer robots. You got Necrons up in
well,
here.
no, it wouldn't work because they only have 4 hull.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, hull upgrade.
Well, then in that case, you don't have auto thrusters, but
You have all. You come back as a zombie.
I
You're a
guess.
spooky robot.
Maybe.
Uh,
One thing I can see, Zuckus with the IG crew. I'm
right,
an
the
IG88
G1A.
with, yeah. Um,
Rerolling tractor beams.
No, 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 not even that.
That would be cool.
If it went both ways,
Yeah.
you're an IG-88 shooting heavy laser cannon, 5 dice
Oh
at range
yeah.
3. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
See,
that's
that's
dope.
I don't think they do it though
I
because of
think
that.
I think it could though.
If
I
it's
think it really
expensive,
could. Yeah, if it's I'm good for that if it's 5 points, just straight up. Because Scum don't really have expensive crew. Like we don't have the most expensive thing we have is Gunner, right?
hmm
I mean, Imps have Pout. Rebels have
Luke,
they have Luke. Luke is
yeah,
good. You have that lukewarm build that you helped me create. We
yeah,
created with Luke and
Ezra,
Ezra on Han. That's pretty dope.
Luke PTL, yeah, it's pretty okay.
But like we don't have any ridiculous crew, so why? I mean, it's either going to be 1 point and lets it go one way, or 5 points and lets it go both ways. And if it goes both ways, it opens up really ridiculous combos. And I
hmm
think 5 points would be a solid price point because it does hamper your ability to just load one of these big pilots up with,
Yeah,
you
you'd
know,
have naked Boba Fett basically in IG
not necessarily naked, but very few upgrades. Because Boba, I think, is 30.
45.
Is
We're
he?
like
No,
he's
I
like
don't think so.
he's
I think he's
expensive.
39.
He's 38 or something actually, but he'd still you still have very few.
Here, Boba Fett, Scum and Villainy. I'm pulling it up right now. He's
All right,
39 points.
okay,
Yeah,
still.
because the generic fire spray is 35.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And I think Cat Scarlet's like 38.
yeah, but like a YV with a boost and an evade token.
That'd be pretty dope. That would be clowny, by the
Yeah,
way. I don't know necessarily if you'd give like Bosk that and just have him boost evade. That's too clowny because you're gonna be boosting around. You're never gonna like have your arc on anybody because you're just always gonna be flying in circles like an idiot.
I mean, hey, I don't know, could
But
see it.
back to the Shadowcaster, we also have a Black Sun Slicer,
Yep, that costs an action and it's probably like Saboteur and thus trash.
something like that. Comes
Yeah,
with VI, rigged cargo something,
that's the
which
bomb.
lets you drop the debris cloud.
Yep.
Gyroscopic targeting probably lets you move your mobile firing arc moving at defender speeds,
hmm
countermeasures, and tactical jammer.
All in all, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of people thought that the Shadowcaster was going to end up being a rebel ship
Well,
because Ketsu Onyo eventually does help the rebels out. You see her in later episodes after they first meet, just straight up helping the rebels because Sabine blows her spot and the imps are all over Ketsu like, "Yo, bounty hunter, what are you doing with that rebel droid? How about we have a chat?" And she's like, I'm just gonna blow up all your stuff and
mm,
bail." So
pretty yeah, pretty
I'm
exciting.
down. I'm down for it, and looks good. Overall, Wave 9, very hyped. I look forward to it.
Definitely. I want it here in August because that's what they said, end of third quarter. So we'll see it December.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
So what else do we have on the docket? Any more Fantasy Flight news?
They did post like a thing about
Thing.
how things are not legal until 11 days after their official release date in a
Oh
country.
yeah, Fantasy Flight organized play.
Mm,
Popped a little article I think a couple days ago.
yeah.
That specified for premier level tournaments, so regionals and above. Um, Stuff that releases, you have to wait 11 days from the moment it's announced on the website. That's the official release. So it's on. They said specifically we announced X-wing things on Thursday.
Yes.
So 11 days from the Thursday we announce it on the website, it is legal to play in premier level events. For store level events, so you like your spring box, your summer box, even your store championships, those are not premier level events. You can rules are they're good as soon as you got them. Subject to, I guess, the
hmm
store's individual rule preference. I know some stores are
Yeah.
like, well, we don't have it in stock, so they're not legal.
Yeah. The thing is, the 11-day thing is the basically North America, Anywhere else, you have to contact the TO organizer. So, like in Italy, for example, you know how they have a system open coming up, right?
Yep.
They haven't officially had Wave 8 released.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
So you can't fly Wave 8
in
in
theory,
Italy.
people have had to buy it via other distributors because the main distributor hasn't released it yet, as
Oh,
far as I'm aware, as of this moment.
that's interesting.
So there's been a lot of complaints, and the Italians have, like the guy was complaining on the forum that, I've had no practice against Wave 8. If people from other countries who do have it come here and play, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. Can they release it already?
And we spoke in a previous cast that
Mm,
South America does not have access to like Wave like 6 plus
yeah, something
or
like that.
7 plus.
Yeah, they don't have robots, I don't think.
Oh no, that's disastrous actually.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah,
there's a lot of discrepancy as far as distribution goes for the waves.
that's what
It's
happens when you go through distributors instead of, I guess,
yeah.
making everything company based. But then that's a huge burden on Fantasy Flight in and of itself.
Yeah,
So,
well, they've been bought by Asmodee, so things might change
oh
soon.
really?
Yeah, because Asmodee is a huge like gaming distribution network, dude.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
So hype for Imp Vets, Heroes of the Resistance,
that'll never come out. Yeah,
and Wave 9.
yeah.
You know, Imp Vets, man, we're still waiting for it.
Uh, Someday we'll get it.
Someday.
All right. So what's next on the? Oh, right. Yeah, we went to a regional again.
Yeah, we did.
Monroeville,
I'm actually
Eastern.
still lamenting about Imp
Oh,
Vets even before we get to Monroeville.
yeah.
I can see it in the future, 10 years from now, since Imperial Veterans were announced. I walk through an empty game store trying to think of something else, but my path always leads me back to these Imperial Veterans. I stare at Fantasy Flight's website for hours and try to summon Imperial Veterans. I watch other people play X-Wing, but it's no good. I flame other podcasts on the forums and I try to resist Palp Aces and U-boats, but it's all meaningless. The end is near. Then usually try to play Star Trek Attack Wing and then cry myself to sleep.
I, do you actually play Star Trek Attack Wing?
No. No.
uh,
No, not for nothing. Not the flame whoever did the Star Trek Attack Wing, but like their models. One of the Klingon like battle cruisers looks like they just straight up dipped it in like green slime, and it's
uh,
it's so like chunky and thick, and there's like no like whatever detail was on the models just washed out in thick green goop.
oh my God.
It
All
makes me
right.
sad.
That's terrible.
Okay, so the regional that we went to,
Monroeville.
Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is beautiful, by the way. As soon as I saw the mountains, I wanted to climb them. Still do. Unrelated.
I'm pretty sure you were hallucinating the entire time.
Ah, yes. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that later, I guess.
Yeah. Right. So Monroeville. So we were expecting, Palp Aces, triple U boats, Crack Swarm, VCXs.
Mm-hmm.
What did we get?
A lot of Palp Aces.
Yep.
Pretty much everything we expected. I
Ah,
don't
not
think
it.
I don't think there was anything there I wasn't expecting.
There was some things missing though. We didn't see any Crack Swarms, I think.
Very few crack swarms.
No, like almost zero.
I think there was at least one person running it.
Maybe one, but like they did not get the top cut.
No.
No.
Um, my first round I ran to actually this my first round is what kind of caught me off guard.
What were you flying?
I was running Brobots again,
Okay.
and I came across a spooky ghost, Kanan Jarrus,
Okay.
and Miranda, both
Ooh.
with twin laser turrets. Miranda had loads of bombs.
Mm-hmm.
I even think the Ghost had a bomb. I'm not sure. It had a recon specialist. So these things were just so annoying to hit because you just proc Kanan and yeah, I just
You
do
do
less
one less
damage.
damage every time.
Um, and Miranda just regens it off. I killed the Ghost eventually. The twin laser turrets were just so nasty. It was only two of them. They just did so much work. Those the 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 K-wing and the Ghost are just deceptively maneuverable.
Definitely, dude. Yeah, they have crazy dials.
Yeah,
So that was your first round. My first round, I wrote
tell me
everything
about it.
down.
Yeah.
If I knew where my notebook was, I would tell you all about it. Shoot, where did it go? Well, that was embarrassing. Hang on one second. Talk about your second round.
All right. So my second round, I actually ID'd. I ID'd because I got paired with Dave Iacona. Dave is one of the people that we play with at our shop. He was also running Brobots. The same build. I was just in the car with this guy for like 8-ish hours,
Oh yeah.
and we rolled up at like 8 in the morning. Or no, I was gonna say 8 in the morning. We rolled up at like 5 in the morning. We got like no sleep, so like man, we really don't want to face each other, and we already both lost our first game. So
Mm-hmm.
like, screw it. We're just gonna ID round two, and if either of us lose again, we're just out. So we just gotta win. We would have had to win all our games anyway,
Okay.
more or less. So we took the opportunity to go get lunch.
Yeah, without me, and I was starving to death.
Well, you guys got pizza later.
Yeah,
Pat brought you pizza.
he did. That was nice of him. All right. So my experience first round was against a fellow named Dan.
Okay, Dan
He
the
was
man.
running the Inquisitor and two bombers.
How'd that go?
Well, I
I,
won.
I caught the end of that, and it was it was you had like the one bomber and like there was like two Z95, and you just kind of like had him pincered,
Yep,
and he decided to like barrel roll into your face to try and like one last hurrah you, and he
I
just
zapped him to
died.
death. Yeah. That was a fun round. Lots of positioning.
Hmm.
I thought I made a mistake that time, but you know what? I shot Reimer to death with bombs, and that was the good call.
Good, good idea.
With missiles.
Your torps.
Torps. Because I was running Tel Trevero as a U-boat
Yep.
and 4 feedback Cs. It's a fun list. It's what got me into Top Cut last time, so I was like, all right, I'm
It
gonna
might
stick
do
with the
just
full.
to hear, yeah.
It did well, not as well as I hoped. My second round was against Ron, the guy who won the tournament, Nova Squadron. I believe. Yep.
Hmm.
And he was running Soonerfeld, Inquisitor, and Pulp Shuttle, and I just couldn't block him. He was very good at with positioning
Mm.
and being able to just. He would shoot then fly away, and I couldn't catch him because I had Z95s.
That's the drawback of running Z95s or
Mm,
Z95s.
yep.
They
I did kill the
underperform.
Inquisitor though before I lost. So not a total like 100 zip.
Hmm.
Then my third round, I was versing Joe, also Nova Squad,
Seems
and
to be like the last hurrah for Nova Squadron out there.
yeah, I think they were just having fun. He had two U-boats and a slaver.
Okay.
That was much closer. I still lost, but went 66 to 100 this time. I killed a scout and got another one to half points and the slaver to half.
I'm trying to remember what I versed my third round. I remember I won. I think it was triple jump masters.
Hmm.
And I just straight up prevented him from getting all of his torps off on one go.
Ooh,
And I
that'll
don't
do
think
it.
I even gave up half points. I don't remember
Hmm.
because that evening after that was rough. The game after though I lost, and then I was more or
Okay.
less out. The game after that I played against a decimator, a decimator inquisitor,
Okay.
I believe. I don't think
Yeah.
there was anything else there, and I just straight up put all of my robotic hatred into that inquisitor. And the guy was, I played against this guy, or I seen him at Kappa.
Yep.
A lot of the guys from Kappa went to this regional too. And I just rolled up there, and man, the look on his face when I just like alphaed that Inquisitor, I'm like, dude, I really just hate that thing. And then he proceeded to own me with it was Captain Oikun,
Yep.
um,
And Yasana Sard.
Sanisard with Palpatine, and
Yeah.
Lone Wolf,
That'll do
and
it.
Lone Wolf. So this, I got manhandled by this Decimator.
Hmm.
I don't think there was anything else there for me to shoot at, but I just got manhandled by that Decimator. I couldn't do enough.
Hmm.
It was just
I
so tanky.
My round four versus Evan. He had Talon Boss, almost the same build that I lost to in the top 16 of what was it, Massachusetts,
Hmm.
and I did not make the same mistake there.
Okay,
I was able to win. I was pretty happy about that actually.
that's good.
Round five versus Mark. He had Zuckus Forlom and a contracted scout. Another win, but heavy losses. And then in round six, I versed another bomber wing with like two Gamma squads, a Zeta, and an Inquisitor, and I was able to squeak out the win there again.
Mm.
Unfortunately, my MOV was so shit.
Well,
So,
do you lose a lot of Z95s per game?
yeah,
That's probably why. And then
that's why, yeah.
it's not necessarily hard to bring a jump master down to half.
No, it's not.
So you just bleed MOV.
I do, if I had 5 wins though, it wouldn't matter.
Well,
So,
yeah,
I just gotta fly better next time.
that's just a big failing point of scum builds right now. Is that they just straight up bleed MOV because you're running big ships,
Hmm.
and they just get half points for just doing half.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, oh, you didn't kill Sooner Fell. There's 34 points here. You don't get any of it, or 36 or whatever. How many is worth?
Mm.
35. It's
So,
like, oh, there's a nice 50-point ship, and you did half, so there's 25 points for free.
mm, all in all, I mean, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I had some good opponents, definitely. Amazing opponents, round two and three. They were just really hard to verse.
Mm. We
I'd
saw a
say,
lot of the Nova Squadron guys out there. We got to meet
yeah,
Ed. Was
yeah,
really happy, really excited to meet Ed. Shout out to Ed and all the Nova Squadron
yeah,
boys.
dude. Great pilots,
Yes, sir.
good people.
Was
Oh
very
man.
glad to shake his hand, and I believe he did pretty well. I think he got top 16, didn't he?
Ed, I don't know if he
I'm
did.
not entirely sure.
I see an Evan, not an Ed.
I just remember him being there, really cool dude.
I think it was there to support his
Uh,
buddies.
no, he played.
Did he? Well,
Yeah, he played,
there was a
and he
side
did
event.
really well.
I don't know.
Anywho, um, it was a 2-day event. I
Mm,
think one of us made it there. It was Matt,
Matt,
and he immediately washed out,
yeah, he versed
um,
a Doom Desi.
and just got owned.
Yep, it was rough.
Very rough, and it was overall a rough trip for us.
Hmm.
It's just so far away from the outer rim.
Yeah, it was 7 hours.
Yeah, it was a rough journey.
I don't think we're gonna do it again next
I
time.
don't think so. The venue was nice and big though, so that was
It
a
was
bonus.
huge. It's a
Very,
former Planet
yeah, it's a
Fitness.
former Planet Fitness. They still have the same paint scheme. All they did was change the sign out. The paint's still the
I
same,
mean, wouldn't you?
more or less. You could call it Planet Gaming, and then you
Planet
could still implement the
That
free
would be
pizza.
funny. That would be funny. I would
That'd be
like that.
cool.
Okay.
But overall, not too bad of a journey.
Mm-hmm.
The after party was more or less where it was at.
Oh yeah, dude. Oof.
I don't want to get into too much details, but people were pretty tilted at the end of that. One of our buddies, Mac, I think after his round 4 or 5 loss, he was so tilted he just straight up ate his dial. He's like, he just grabbed it like, oh, just ate it like an Oreo and immediately spit it out. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
He just ate. I don't
Just
understand
ate it.
why.
You were there. He just for some reason
I
felt
saw
compelled
it.
to
Like
eat
it
the
didn't
dial.
register. Oh my goodness.
Um,
What a
so
night.
so people unwinded with the help of our patented tilt juice. For
Mm-hmm.
those who don't know, it's a little thing we like to do every GT or regional, every premier level tournament that we go to.
Yep.
Ever since the first Monroeville regional last year. I was really tilted last year because I did terrible. This is back when I thought anything could work, and apparently not everything can
No.
work. And I
No.
flew a fire spray in 2.6, and I thought I was a god because I could win tournaments at home, but I get stomped. I went like 1-5, and I was like, oh man. So I was so tilted, I bought a bottle of Everclear.
And
And then later
yeah.
we taped with masking tape just enough to cover the label, but like if you held it up to the light, you could still see Everclear. Oh, tilt juice, 80% salt by volume, and then on the back we put a little strip, and depending on how much you drank, put a little mark, and yeah,
It's our
That's the
tradition.
that's our tradition, and Mac wasn't the only one that imbibed that tilt juice. I think one or two other people did.
I did.
Yes, you were quite tilted at the end of it.
I wasn't tilted. I was just like, man, I wish I
You,
did
you
better.
you don't drink that unless you're not tilted. You were tilted on some level. Looking back, you're like, man, I wasn't that tilted, but you were pretty tilted then.
Okay.
So a long and sort of hilarity ensued. It was like an episode of Jackass in the hotel room. You went 40 miles an hour into a wall. You dodged the phone book and went 40 miles an hour into the wall. That was good.
Well, hey, I mean, after a long day of X-Wing, you gotta unwind.
Yeah, by screaming Deus Vult and beating people with Bibles.
I will confirm nor deny anything.
uh, Holy
All right.
justice. So,
Uh,
can we do a quick recap of maybe what went down? Is there anything notable that won? Because we're at the end of the regional season.
yep.
The standings are more or less locked at this point. Were there any notable wins from somebody, like a list that isn't Palp Aces or isn't some sort of U-boat variant?
Let me
Anything weird?
just
That's what I'm
scroll.
looking for.
There was a Rebel 2 ship regen in
Ooh.
Warsaw, Poland.
Oh, Poland.
Miranda,
Poland
yeah.
always has. It's the European meta is so different than
hmm
the U.S. meta. Like System Open and Yavin, you have a Crack Swarm.
Yeah. Miranda and Corrin.
Okay.
Miranda had bombs and a TLT.
U-boats took 3 wins on the
Uh,
28th.
yep. There was also Rebel Aces one in Spain.
Spain.
There was a Crack a Mini Swarm.
Mm,
Rebel Aces in Salt Lake City.
Brobots in California.
hmm
It could still work. You just
And
gotta
then
not
and then in
suck.
France, I need to take a moment and ask the French people what happened.
Voulez-
I'm asking really.
well, I have an answer because I speak a little French.
Okay.
Voulez-vous coucher avec toi?
What did you
Ce
actually just
soir.
say?
Something about chilling on my couch, I think.
I
Je
know.
suis le grand pomme de terre.
All right. So here's the winning list. There were 53 people there.
hmm
All right, 53 people. It was a Black Sun Ace with Crackshot Concussion Missile Guidance Ship, Cato Lichos with Crackshot Concussion Missile Guidance Ship, Palab with the Dorsal Turret, and then a Gans Feynman with Crackshot FCS.
What?
Yeah, that one.
Some crack shot missiles, and then again
Palab.
Feinsman and Palob with dorsal.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Do you mean interesting like, oh wow, that's cool, or like, what happened?
What happened?
He versed Imp Aces in the final round,
I just owned it.
and then there was a Stress Bot with Miranda and two Katalas in the top four.
All right.
And then a Poe with a stress
I'm not
bot.
sure if the French people are trying. Because, I mean, a Spanish guy, a guy from Spain, won with Palp Aces, right? And this is like
Yeah.
an Orleans, France. What are you doing, French people? That's not gonna work. You lost your own system open. What's wrong with you people? I'm just kidding. Love the French people. I took French in high school. I love Orangina. That is some good drink. It's
Mm-hmm.
like an orange soda. It's pretty
Oh
dope.
yeah. System Open that just happened in
hmm
Yavin was won in England by an Englishman. It was Howl Runner, 3 Black Cracks, and 3 Academies, 7 ties.
Yeah,
And then Tatooine was just won
just now.
by just now.
Oh, who won it?
Dengar and Tel Trevera
Ooh,
versus Crackswarm.
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's about our regional mock-up. We've had 57 reported regionals.
All right.
Imperials have won 27, Scum have won 20, and Rebels have won 10.
And this is the total so far.
This is for worldwide.
Okay.
Palp Aces has won the most with 16.
16 out of 26.
16 out of 57.
I'm saying out of the imp wins.
Oh, 27.
Wow.
Yep. Crackswarm have won 7, Imp Aces have won 1, Desi Palp has won 1, and Crack Mini Swarm has won 2.
That's Palp Aces, good build.
Yeah, good build.
I'm just surprised that like just triple jumps won 3 off that weekend.
Yeah. They are very reliable.
Yeah,
They've had 5 of the 20 scum wins.
one
Double U-boats in a
fourth,
hmm?
1/4.
Yeah. And double U-boats in a Bumpmaster have won 6 of them.
Specifically a Bumpmaster.
Specifically
Okay.
Bumpmasters. Like there's 3 U-boats, which is 3 ordnance boats, and then
Because I was
2
always considering running the Tel Manaru Y-wing, so the 2 U-boats and a third ship, I guess, doesn't do that well.
I guess not. I mean,
Unless
they
that third is a U-boat, as a Bumpmaster.
only 2 of those like 3 ship builds have won.
Mm.
Ooh, I'm okay. Anyway, so yeah, and Rebels had the most diverse wins.
But they also have the least amount.
They also have the least amount, but they have the most diverse, which is saying something.
I mean, I'm not necessarily. I mean, you gotta also consider sample size, I guess,
Yes, true.
because there are only 10 wins. How many of the same could you have? Now, if
Yep.
it was like 10 wins and half of those were crack A's, we're like, all right, crack A's are on to something.
Mhm.
But because they're all over the place, I mean, you also have to consider where they win.
Mhm.
I mean, are the majority of those Rebel wins overseas? I'm not entirely
Uh,
sure.
mostly.
That might be a thing. Just rebels do better not in the United States. We for some reason hate freedom because we win with empire a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, mostly Imperial
Yeah,
winners in
freedom haters
the
and scum
U.S.
and or scum.
A little
So
scum.
so I think that more or less wraps us up for
Yeah,
today.
that's about this episode.
I don't think we have anything else to add here.
Mm-mm.
So with that, we're gonna put episode 5 in the books. Thanks again for everyone who came out. Sorry about the late start due to technical issues. But we'll be back here next week with episode 6. So until that time, fly casual and stay on target.
Mm-hmm. And avoid those asteroids.
Please don't hit the rocks. Especially now that Shadowcaster's going to pump one out, right?
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
take it easy, folks.
See you, folks.